I watched Iron Lung. Here are my thoughts. Iron Lung is the 2026 horror film that was written and directed by Markiplier that was based on like the small, weird indie horror game that I've never played before. So let me just preface that I have not played the game, so I was going in pretty much completely fresh. I really didn't know what to think about. I didn't watch any of the trailers. I watched it because it was Markiplier's movie. Now here's some thoughts that I have. First off, I want to say how much that this film is so important. I have so much respect for Markiplier for doing this independently. It didn't feel like a sellout. It really felt like a passion project, and you could tell throughout the entire movie that it was more of a passion project than anything, which I was very impressed with. Like, just the love that it felt like the characters showed, that it felt like the film was presenting. It just felt like it was love all around. Like, it was people that really wanted to do it, and I could really tell throughout the film that that was definitely, like, a motivating factor with the characters, the actors, and, like, the scenes. Now, I don't think the film is perfect, especially coming from someone that went in completely fresh. I had no idea what was going on. It's definitely a slow burner, so if you're not into those, you probably won't be into the movie, but I'm decently into it. It was definitely a slower beginning, but it did start ramping up as we kept going. So, yeah, that's definitely something that was very noticeable throughout the film. About halfway through, I was like, man, this is a really slow burn, which I expected, but I also thought it was a little bit slower burn than even I thought when I was going into it. One of my favorite aspects of the film is Markiplier. I thought his acting was way better than I came into thinking. Like, I thought, oh, there was going to be some good moments, but he had probably about 4 or 5 moments where I was like, wow, he did a really good job at conveying this and showing, like, emotional parts. This is going to be a spoiler-free video, so I'm not going to go too in-depth on everything, but I do want to say that one of the highlights of it is Markiplier. So, yeah, grass is green. I do think that the film did a good job of keeping everything into one setting. So there is one setting throughout the entire movie, and it does not go outside of that. And it's weird. I want to say that it did feel a little cramped at times, I guess. Like, it really felt like you were stuck. And obviously that's what they were conveying. But sometimes it kind of left me empty. I did think they maximized what they could have gotten from that setting. So I want to say that was pretty good. Another thing I want to say is it's the investment aspect of it. So there was a couple moments where I questioned the motivations of the characters. And obviously there'll be a moment 2/3 into the film where you're like, oh, well, that's like a kind of the explanation. But at the same time, I still felt a little bit of like, oh, I'm kind of questioning like why this is happening, why certain characters are acting the way that they are, even when it's revealed that the characters are still themselves. It just felt a little emptiness as like when I was walking away from it. So that's a little bit of a critique on that aspect of it, but other than that, I had a relatively good time watching it. It wasn't anything life-changing or anything, but it was definitely an enjoyable 2-hour experience, and I do recommend going to see it, even though by the time this is uploaded, opening weekend's already over. But I don't know how long it's going to stay in the theaters, so if you haven't seen it, I would definitely give it a shot. Unless you're not into slow burns. If you're not into slow burning movies or slower paced films, you're not going to be into it as much. That's my initial impression of it. I might make another video in like the future, maybe reacting to some like story elements and stuff. And I do want to play the game eventually because I was a little bit like it kind of motivated me to try and see the game. Maybe that'll help me understand the movie a little bit more. So yeah, I might play it in the future. It's a small game. It's apparently like it was like a 40-minute video when Markiplier played it, and I haven't seen it, so Yeah, it's apparently a really short horror game, and it really kind of made me want to go in depth and see maybe if the game will help me understand it a little bit more, or... And lastly, I just want to, again, reiterate how important this film is. The barrier between YouTuber and mainstream has finally been, like, broken, and this is, like, the best way to break it, and I hope that this encourages smaller indie films to keep going and keep them motivated, keep them creating. Obviously, it's an amazing thing. I've seen so many amazing, passionate indie projects, and this is one of the top ones. I do want to say, and I have so much respect for Markiplier and everybody involved for creating that film. I have so much respect for the theaters that picked it up, Regal, AMC, all those. Get that movie out there. That's Markiplier's passion project. It wasn't a sellout. It was completely authentic, and we need more of that in this age of cashless, soulless media that is clearly just put out there to make money. I'm talking to you, Minecraft movie. If you want to see more things like this, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.